Hi everyone, this is Dylan from Dylan's Reptile Time. Hope you're all doing okay. So this week we're going to have a look at a very unique type of lizard called a chameleon. So let's have a closer look at one. So this is Charles, and he's a veiled or Yemen chameleon. And as you can see, he's an awesome looking lizard. And there's around 150 types of chameleon in the world. They all live in a range of warm habitats like jungles and deserts. Charles here, he's a Yemen chameleon, so he comes from the Yemen, but you can find chameleons throughout much of Africa. There's some in southern Europe. They go through to Asia as well, but there's one place that is like the world's hotspot for chameleons, and that is the island of Madagascar off the coast of Africa. And that's home to to about half of the world's chameleon population species. So you get loads there. You also get the largest chameleon in the world, which is the Parsons chameleon. They can get huge. You'll see a picture of that. And also little tiny chameleons like pygmy chameleons, which are the kind of smallest, pretty much the smallest type of lizard in the world. There's a pygmy chameleon that can sit comfortably on the top of your little finger. It's tiny. For years, people thought they were baby chameleons, but they were, in actual fact, fully grown adult chameleons, but just tiny. Now, probably the world's most kind of strangest looking chameleon is the Jackson's chameleon from East Africa. So let's have a little look at that guy, shall we? So as you can see, males like this one have 3 horns on the top of their head, kind of like a mini triceratops, and they use them to fight off other males and literally lock horns with them. Now they really are unique lizards, aren't they? And they've got a few features that make them so different. So we'll start with their eyes. So if you look at their eyes, they can kind of swivel their eyes and they can move their eyes independently. So one eye can look forward and the other eye can look behind them. So they've got this kind of 360-degree vision, and they've got really amazing eyesight as well. And when they put their 2 eyes together and they fixate on something, they're kind of like binoculars. They can kind of zoom in on their prey, and they can spot little insects from about 10 meters away. So really good eyesight. And their feet, if you have a look at their feet, how Charles is climbing here, they've got 3 toes on one side and then 2 on the other, which makes it really great for gripping onto branches and holding onto things. So it's perfectly adapted to a life in the trees and in the branches. And their tail, if you can see their tail here, that's called a prehensile tail, which means they can move it and use it pretty much like a hand. So if I get his tail here, he can kind of hold on and use it like a hand. So it's perfect when he's climbing through the trees. Acts like another hand. Now, probably the most main thing that people associate with chameleons is their amazing colours and their ability to actually change colour. So if we look at this male panther chameleon that you'll see, you can see that it's got really insane colours and patterns. Now chameleons, they have a natural colour which matches their surroundings, so it's really good camouflage, makes them harder to be spotted by predators when they're amongst the leaves and things. But how they change colour is not probably how you think. So they can change colour, but it's not how you think. So a lot of people think that, say if it's going to disappoint some of you, I'm afraid. A lot of people think if chameleons instantly change colour to the colour that they're next to. So a lot of people think if I put Colin here next to me, he'll instantly turn black and disappear. But unfortunately, that's not the case, I'm afraid. Yeah, so chameleons, they can change colour, but it's usually depending on what kind of mood they're in. So if they're really angry or they're in a proper mood, they'll go really dark in colour. If the male wants to show off to a female and says, look, I'm the best male around, then he'll go really bright colours like we saw with the panther chameleon there. And some chameleons, they go darker in colour to try and get as much heat into their body as possible, to try and absorb some light and heat if they're a bit cold. I'm not going to go too much into it, but they have special cells. How they change colour, they've got special cells underneath their skin called chromatophores. And these allow the chameleons to change colour. So if you look at Charles here, you'll see he's probably constantly changing colour slightly as we speak. Now, another amazing feature of these of chameleons is their tongue. So they've got this really super long tongue. They can shoot their tongue out like a bullet, pretty much twice up to twice the length of their body to catch insects with. And at the end of their tongue, it's kind of like a suction cup which grabs onto the insect, and they kind of retract it back into their mouth, start chewing away on the food. And let's see, we've actually got a video of Charles here catching his food. So let's take a look at that. So Charles here eyes up that little cricket, and then before you know it, bam, his tongue is shot out like a bullet, grabbed onto the cricket with his little sucker end of its tongue, and then goes back into his mouth and just crunches away. So it all happens in a split second. How cool was that? Do you eat your food like that? Get a sausage off your plate like that. Now, chameleons, they eat a variety of insects, really. So they eat locusts, grasshoppers, crickets, stuff like that. Pretty much any insect that they can fit into their mouth and crunch away on. So I hope you enjoyed that. Got to learn a lot of interesting chameleon facts, hopefully. And we'll be back soon with another video for you. All right, so you guys take care. Bye.